My friend,
The world spins as Ravengard's dizziness flows into you.
His mind is his own, but the Elder Brain touched him deeper than most. He must stay here. He will need time to recover.
The voice is gone, but I still hear its echoes. Reflections of reflections. Goddamn Gortash. He'll suffer for this. I'll drive Baldur and sword straight through his belly. I am older Ravengard. I will not stand by while...
Your parasites link. Pain splits your head, and you hear a distant voice, a whisper of a memory. It calls for you. All of you.
I saw your mind. A thing's still in me. And there's one in you. I don't understand.
Relax your mind. I will show him.
Ravengard gasps as his thoughts consume yours. He sees everything. The Nautiloid journey, the perilous path to Moonrise, the astral prison, and the Emperor within.
By the hells. My life hinges on a mind flayer's whim, and Baldur's Gate hangs from its talons. It seems the fate of the city lies in your hands. Please, promise that you'll be the shield that defends, the sword that slays, and the hammer that rebuilds. Be our champion. May the Triad guide you. As you wish. She's gone. Hells. My own family was never so true. She deserved a better fate than death, dearest Floric. May your journey to the Fugue Plain be a peaceful one. I was returning from Elturel. My traveling party stopped at an inn, Joaquin's Rest, to lay our heads. It wasn't the heat that woke me. It was the scent. Cultists had set fire to the place. I don't remember being taken. Just the smoke burning my throat before I fell. I awoke in Moonrise Towers, inside one of those damnable pods. The rest, well, the rest goes without saying. A complicated one. I went to greet Elturel's High Overseer, only for the Archdevil Zariel to drag the city into the hells. I've been touched by Avernus, been a plaything for demons. A tale for other places, other days. To start with, a reckoning. Even before I was infected, the dukes and patriarchs applauded as Gortash took control. They cheered as his automatons marched the streets, lauded his tyranny of steel in the interest of security. I will rebuild the city, but first, I will tear down the council and start anew. Those who would give up the freedom of the people to purchase temporary safety deserve neither power nor liberty.
If you have business, the road and the city needs us. By your command. With the Absolute's army gone, the Risen Road should be clear. We can follow it all the way to Baldur's Gate. There's a Harper's safe house in Worm's Crossing. Denthalen's Dancing Axe. We'd do well to check in with them before entering the city proper. Beyond that, our course is yours to set. I can recall how to take orders. I've had a lifetime's fill of watching little men buff themselves up with grand titles. I look forward to the day we show the Archduke that his tongue is not half so silvered as he thinks. We could. It would just be a very short one. We cannot expect either of the Chosen to fall easily. But fall they must, if we're to have all three stones to command the brain. Still, if you see sense in making an alliance, I won't question it. I'll just look forward to the inevitable breaking Gortash spoke of. You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles. Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in. It seems that events at Denthalen's have overtaken us. My contact there just sent word. The Harpers have been fractured, infiltrated by doppelgangers. Perhaps we might have done something to help, or just fallen into the trap along with them. Oh, I only have myself to blame. I have not been overly generous with the truth. I came here to learn of the Chosen, true enough. But I set my Harper searching for someone else, too. Tell me, what do you know of a man named Minsk of Rashiman?
Ah, Minsk. A legendary hero who made his home in Baldur's Gate. You're fortunate not to have encountered the madman and his pet hamster during your nocturnal hunts.
But few know of his fate, I think. I had hoped to keep it that way. Minsk is an old friend. Perhaps my oldest. We fought at one another's backs, times beyond counting. And the last time I saw him, I left him to die. Before we ever heard of this Absolute, we received word of a gathering in the Undercity. What we found was the first dark seed of this plot. A circle of cultists with mind flayers in their midst. We might have ended it there, cut off at the root, but before I could send for help, Minsk charged in alone. It was chaos. He was overrun, dragged down beneath a mass of tentacles. I had a choice. Stay and let word of this cult die with us, or leave him, and live to fight another day. The world takes much from those who presume to defend it. But sometimes, you get to take it back. So don't be sorry. Because I mean to use you, if you're willing. Infection, indoctrination, eradication. That has been the fate of everyone the cult has captured so far. But it has not been yours. With your help, Perhaps it need not be Minsk's either. Because I was playing the pragmatist and writing my friend off for dead, then I met you. If I seem suddenly flushed with hope and soft feeling, you have only yourself to blame. Oh, the point is moot without the means to find him. Without the Harpers, we shall have to find another path. I'll have a better idea of what that is once we're through the gates. Seems I need to reacquaint myself with this damned city. So Bal's chosen is a doppelganger. I should not be surprised. They have ever been among his favorite servants. Orin is testing you. Either she thinks herself a predator, playing with her food, or she fears what you might do. Good. She's circling. Have no doubt of that. The last time I fought doppelgangers, the Balspawn Sarevok was using them to subvert the city government, aid his rise to power. But Orin, he's more predator than politician, I think. She simply wants to make us feel hunted, isolated. Tell the Lordling that Orin is watching. Seems that Gortash and Orin have had a little falling out. We should leverage that. Ah. I know what she speaks of. I need, information from her. And a pardon from you. For I have not been overly generous with the truth. Tell me, what do you know of a man named Minsk of Rashomon?
Ah, Minsk. The legendary hero who made his home in Baldur's Gate. You're fortunate not to have encountered the madman and his pet hamster during your...
Oh, am I too sentimental for you? Minsk is a warrior from the time of troubles. But more than that, he is an old friend. And the last time I saw him, I left him to die. There always is. Before we ever heard of this, what we found, we might have ended. It was chaos. I had a choice. Stay and let the world take So don't be infection. But it has not been yours. With your help? As simply as that? For no other reason than that I asked? Perhaps you two will get along. Oh, the point is moot without the means to find him. Without the Harpers, we shall have to find another path. Nine Fingers Keen controls the guild, which in turn controls every criminal racket from Heapside to the High Hall. Nothing happens in this city that she doesn't hear of, sooner or later. How hospitable she will be to a Harper that comes begging to her guild hall, we will find out. Perhaps I will let you do the talking. I have. And while I do not love my conclusion, that does nothing to change it. The Harpers are the city's best information network. With them out of action, we shall have to fall back on second best. Nine Fingers Keen.
A name known and feared throughout the city's underworld. The mysterious Keen runs the guild, which in turn runs every criminal enterprise in the city.
Nine Fingers is much more than a thief. Nothing happens in this city that she doesn't learn of, sooner or later. How hospitable she will be to a Harper that comes begging to her guild hall, we will find out. Perhaps I will let you do the talking. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? What need, when it seems so intent on repeating itself? But stay this apocalypse, and I'll let you read my journals. Promise. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Do not be moved to pity. It is a predator pinned in a trap. And if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth. Watching gods. But I never thought I would be happy to see this city again. Much less to smell it. Ask it. You speak of a battle more than a century past. Baal's minions led us through a maze in the Undercity, older than Baldur's Gate itself. We paid little mind to the path ahead, let alone how we might return, or that we would return at all. Still, the Undercity shifts. We might search down there. Or better yet, find a ballast to lead us. More than I would... But then, who am I speaking to? You have far to... And if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth. Ha. The Guildmaster wishes to see us, does she? Better we call on her home than she on ours. Lead, then.